Good morning. Good morning. Hey guys. Yes, I got clothes in my bedroom out of my closet because the AC we thought was messed up and we had to destroy my closet to get to the air conditioning unit. Good news is everything's okay, but now we got to put all this back up. And it's time to get up. Me and Cupcake are still in bed and we are about to go and let the quail out. Yes, we locked them up last night. I have some sad news, you guys, but I also have some good news, and I have something on my heart, so y'all stick around, okay? It's going to be good. Despite the bad news yesterday, I mustered up the energy, strength, and heart to can some beautiful pickled beets. They came out really pretty, and I really enjoyed pickling beets. I had never done it before, but it was so fun to fool with the colors and the textures of the beets. I first started to try to peel the beets, like I maybe peeled about 5 of them, and then I thought, I don't know, something doesn't feel right here. So I did watch a couple of videos, and thank goodness I did because it saved time. Basically, I washed all my beets. I put them all in a pot and boiled them for like 35 to 45 minutes. And immediately put them under the sink in some cool water and cooled them down. And I was able to basically peel the peelings right off with my hands. And these beautiful textured beets were right beneath that. It was just pretty and neat to fool with. I loved it. I once made lipstick on our local news channel. I used to go on our local news channel 6 with Dan Gresham and James Brown, and for the Camel Cottage. And I have a lot of videos in archive. Actually, I bought them from one of the news people's wives used to sell, do that for the guests that would go on the news. And I have all those videos. It'd be really neat if I could somehow upload them to my YouTube channel. But I made lipstick with beet juice for using it for dye, and it was really cool. So I have played with beets in a way before, but this time they're pickled up, they all sealed. The brine that I used basically was 2 parts of everything, which is 2 cup, or let's see, equal parts is what I mean, excuse me. So if you did a cup of water, you do a cup of vinegar, a cup of sugar, cup of water, cup of vinegar, cup of sugar. If you double that recipe, you do 2, 2, and 2. So 1-to-1 ratio, basically. And I did do 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. I actually had pickle and salt. I would have used either or. And the brine, I had this left over. And I saw the idea of another lady who had extra brine, and she went ahead and canned it up. I didn't really have to do that. I could have put it in the ice box. And it would have lasted a couple of months, and my husband would use it for marinating chicken or, any kind of a meat, a barbecue dish or whatever. But I went ahead and canned it up, and that way I can just stick it in the pantry and we have it. And I also used about 2 full heaping tablespoons of pickling spice, and I brought all that to a boil, my brine. I ended up doing like 6 cups of everything, okay? I think it was 6. And I normally don't do all sugar. I cut back way back, but I did it exactly the way it's supposed to be done this time, and I used an organic cane sugar. I brought it to a boil, and then I turned the fire off after all my sugar was melted, and I put the lid on, and I let it steep for about 30 minutes to infuse all the pickling spice flavors. And this is, again, is the pickling spice that I get from Azure Standard. And I love it. It's just got everything in it. So, okay, we're going to go lock up the quail. Let the quail out. Me and Cupcake. And we're going to have a few bonuses to show y'all in all my videos while I'm in the kitchen. Y'all know that I designated our almost 30-year-old food processor to the quail run to grind their food up. that Tony and I probably got at our wedding anniversary. And it's got a few broken parts, but it still works. And I use these a lot in the kitchen here. So I ordered another one on Amazon, and I guess I wasn't paying attention to the cup size. But this little thing is teeny tiny. It's, I don't know how many cups this was. I think 3. So I debated on sending it, but look at how tiny. I don't know if you can tell, because my other one was so big. It has some nice little parts to it. And I thought one of the cool things was this guy here for us to make smoothies. You know, I have a really nice blender that I got also off of Amazon. But that's just another way of doing smoothies if we wanted. Oh, look, here's the little tiny blade. It's just tiny to me. So I debated if I should send it back, and Tony said, just keep it. Maybe you can use it for smaller dishes, and we'll get a bigger one. And I'm just going to play with this one for a little while and decide if I want to get a bigger one or not. So I guess we'll keep it. It's kind of cute, though, and it won't take up a whole lot of storage room. Cupcake's going to go TT. We had 2 baby armadillo yesterday, y'all, on our porch. They've been hanging out on the side of the house over there for a few months now. And they're getting a little brave, and they was walking my porch. I have video of it. I'll try to add it here, but I filmed it in my Facebook story straight up like that. And for YouTube, you have to turn this way for y'all to have a good full picture. Anyway, I'm sorry about that, but I will add it in there. It's just going to be small. So I'm not sure how it looks on your end, but on my end, it's not full screen. All right, Cups. Hold on. Okay, this is the sad news I'm fixing to break to y'all that kept me from filming Tony and Mike putting together the walk-in cooler. I really wanted to share that with you guys, but I was having a pity party. I had to load Cupcake. We're going to go take a ride and go let all the animals out. But this is our walk-in cooler. It would have been this. I'm going to go ahead and say part 2 for this video, but it kind of turned into the sad news and the good news, and not able to show y'all the construction of this. But they ended up going to Walmart and buying 14 tubes of caulking at $12 a piece. They had 4 tubes left after they finished, but the latches that I showed y'all in the last video that hooked the sides together, you know, Mike wanted to make sure it was all sealed tight in here. So they caulked everything, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't get to get video of them doing it. It took them 4 hours to put all this together while I was in the house trying to gather my heart and my strength, because I was very sad yesterday morning. We had let the quail stay out for the first time all night. I thought I had them secure enough to get through the night, and we did a head count. We had 34 quail, and as y'all know, the little white one was my pet, and I found her dead with a wet neck, which means a snake attempted to eat her, and it wasn't a pretty sight. She was covered in ants. There was an undeveloped egg that came out, including parts of her, and I was devastated. You know, I joke around. We'll do a whole nother video on this cooler with the guys here, okay? Today's Monday, so they're at work, or Tony's at work. And I'll let them talk about all the parts and the goodness on this thing. It's pretty amazing. So hold up a second. Let's go for a ride, Mama. My coffee. Cupcake loves to ride the side-by-side. And this is usually where she's at. We leash her. She's, oh crap, I don't have her leash. Hang on, y'all. To put her harness. So see how we leash her? She's tied off, and she literally hangs out the side when we ride the side-by-side. And we ride a lot, mostly on the weekends. We ride everywhere, sometimes for 4 hours, y'all. So fun. I'm gonna let let y'all see where we're at on the land. You know, the garden's here, all the animals are this way. This is where our cabin's at. So out of all 34, Quell, the snake, picks out my white one, in which I haven't named her yet. You can look on my YouTube channel. I have a playlist. Everything's somewhat organized, but years ago, I'm going to say 8 years ago maybe. I have to count, but I have to go back and look. You know, we raised homing pigeons, all white homing pigeons. And I did one funeral, and you know, the idea was to do weddings and funerals and things, but I had a bird aviary that just, my neighbors decided to get out of the chicken business, or get out of chickens, period. And they gave us their chicken coop. And so this raw wood wired chicken coop came to our house that we just moved from, that we were at for 16 years. And that was the start of me getting into animals like this. We added on to it. I painted it blue and had blue and white, like a light sky blue and white. It was really pretty. We ended up adding on to the front, where you had a walk-in part covered in the hardware wire, the very expensive wire, right? I don't know what the dimensions are of the wire, but it's like tiny little, and it's ideal for bird aviaries and cages to protect them from snakes, basically. Chicken wire does not protect them from snakes. I know this. So, you know, I'm sort of having a guilt trip too, because I wished I would have locked them up Friday night. I was so happy seeing them to be out and free. And then I'd used the snake scram fresh. And I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. Okay? But I'm not going to point fingers and blame. Either way, where my heart is right now, you know, I really went into full sadness yesterday. It was horrible. I mean, I couldn't shake it over this little bird that I loved. It was my little friend. And I literally missed them putting together the whole, and y'all know how excited I was about the, I think Mike's on the hill over here, maybe putting the bridge. Let's go see. This is the front of our property. I gotta try to remember, it's been a while since I've talked about this, but in the front here of our cabin, we have about 24 acres, I believe. Behind the cabin, there's about 54 acres, which is more wetland. And we have the one bridge, I think I've showed y'all on the video on YouTube, that we can get over behind the cabin. We had Mike revamp it with some cut-off pines that we have access to in our area, that this guy burns them unless we want them. Anyways, so we're putting a second bridge. The other bridge was already here, but we just kind of remodeled it. I'll show y'all in a minute. But this bridge from the front of the cabin is going to get us to the other side of the creek. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I heard a pipe rattling, so I thought Mike must be over here putting the bridge.
That's the pipe.
Hang on.
Roll that bridge off that trailer.
You're doing it? You're by yourself?
No.
Oh, okay. You and Tony?
Just getting everything ready so Tony gets there.
Ah, good. Okay, well, I'm fixing to go let the birds out.
Good morning, Cupcake.
Say good morning. Tell YouTube hi. Yes, Mike. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. I'll be back, guys. Y'all, look at these beautiful beech trees. This video, I'm telling you, you never know with Banana what she's going to show. There's the base of the new bridge. These beech trees, I want to talk about them. But give me a second here. So I'm going to show y'all where this bridge is facing to go. It's going to go, we're going to make it full circle, okay? Over those pipe. Tony put those there. It's kind of like we could get the four-wheeler through there before he put those pipes, but since we got the side-by-side, we cannot get it through because it was too much of a dip. So, but anyway, when we had the snow demic, y'all, it was just all snow here. It was fake snow, I call it. But, yes, that's me. Conspiracy banana. Fake snow. Anyway, okay. Anyway, over that bridge, we have a beautiful swim hole that we like to go and swim and hang out. It's got this large tree that goes across the creek, and it even has a beaver dam. And when we get back over on that side, I'll do some video and show y'all how cool it is over there. But let me go back to these beech trees. We call this Beech Tree Hill. I never had heard of beech trees until we moved here. And there is actually out of the, I think, 7 creeks that we live nearby, there's one called Beech Creek. But what they're known for, they're absolutely beautiful in the fall and the spring. They turn brown in the fall, and then in the early spring, they get these lime transparent green leaves on them. They're just gorgeous. And then you can carve into the tree, and it supposedly indents the carving. It lasts a lifetime almost. You can see there's a hook right here. One of my neighbors was very curious about that. He kind of felt like this might have been a homestead at one time. There have been arrowheads found out here behind the cabin on the creek side. We also have a beautiful Indian marking tree back there. But there's some carvings, I think, on this. Oh, there's one right there. Look, MM89, and I think there's some wire that was. We don't know. There might like it have been a home. We don't know. I need to go to the library, I guess, and get some history that I can find. There's some more. I thought there was more carvings. Oh, look, there's some right here. I don't think I've seen these. What does that say? I can't read it. Can y'all read it? Is that PACL? I told y'all I'd show y'all that other bridge. I don't remember if I've shown y'all before on the channel, but this goes to the back, and those are the, it was just basically a bridge frame with some wood that was needing some TLC, and we topped it with these cutoffs. It's got one coat of stain. We were letting it get seasoned, and we're going to put another coat and then seal it again real good. We matched the back deck as well, and here we have it. This is the back. So from the front, that's where I was earlier on the side-by-side with Mike, with the bridge that's going front. It'll get us on the other side of the creek. We have about 1 mile of this creek going through our property. Part of it. It's my little sign I painted back at the other house. I'm gonna touch it up. Kind of, it's, you know, been outside for, gosh, I don't know how many years. I never know how many years, do I? It's okay. It's been a while. How about that? Nobody's out. We're about to let them all loose again for the day. Okay, Mama's gonna go let them out, Cupcake. Oh, back to my pretty little white beauty that I lost. We got them from our neighbor. They were English whites, and they were very small, and we're wanting to get into the jumbo quail. And she instantly became my pet. And let me kind of explain. I joke around and call myself a faux farmer. You know, I've explained in other videos, a recent one too, that when I closed Candle Cottage, that's whenever I got into chickens and farm animals, I guess. And for my it was therapy, and it was amazing. I was learning. I call it, like Jess would say on Roots and Refuge, it was a season of learning for me. Good morning, Vinny. Good morning, Vinny. Good morning, Frankie boy. Hey, 8-Ball. This is the boss. And that's Ray Ray. That's our gangster roosters. And then here we have these two knuckleheads, Wildflower and Beethoven. Hi, pretty girl. I don't know, we got a hen. I think she's a hen. I always thought that, and I thought this was a roo. I still don't know, because I sure didn't think this Polish was a rooster until it crowed the other day. Vinny! You did not just bite my foot to get my attention. Oh, goodness. He wants me to hold him, y'all. Come over here, Vinny. Let's let the other girls out. Oh, my gosh. Bananas all over the place. So I joke around and call myself a faux farmer when I had the animals for, 4 years. And how does Jess say it? Time in the classroom, really. And I did learn a lot about raising birds and chickens and everything. But we had them as pets, all of them. We weren't raising meat birds, and of course we were eating the eggs. This thing's getting a clean out. Guess what? My Saturday lime came in yesterday. Anyway, we weren't a real farm. It was a petting zoo, as Tony would call it. So I had no idea we were going to bring this back. We've been here 2 years now. The first year here, look, Frankie wants me to hold him. We deep feed our, I'm squirreling, I know, y'all. Hang with me for a minute. We deep feed Pretty Girl. She's our crooked beak. Frankie, come on. Come see Mama. Here's where I'm trying to go. I'm trying to be reasonable with Tony. I also joke around and call myself a classy redneck because I love both. As you can see, I got my nails back on. Sometimes I'll take them off for like 3 years and then I get back in the mood. I love them. And I'm a frou-frou queen, as I was labeled when Drake was in kindergarten, and I had some mean moms that made fun of me because they called me frou-frou queen. I was the homeroom mom, and I didn't know that was such a title. Like, it was weird. I didn't know there was a competition there, but whatever. So I also joke around, besides calling myself a faux farmer, a classy redneck, because I like both. I like to be a little country girl. And however, I have been raised around deer hunters all my life. My grandpa, Harry Hebert, my daddy, Kent Hebert, my uncles, my cousins, my brother-in-laws, and we eat deer meat, but I'm not a... Oh my goodness gracious. Hold on, you guys. Frankie. And that was a little bit loud in Mama's ear. I am not a deer hunter. Don't know if I could be. Haven't had to make that decision yet. My husband is a deer hunter. And our son as well. And one of the things that I appreciate about it is we know where our meat is coming from. Our guys cater to the deer all year long. And our deer lease is 6 hours from here, and they make a couple of trips a year. They all have a duty to do it, to protein feed. So the deer are living a beautiful free life. They get a little extra nutrition from them, and they are humanely harvested. I mean, if you eat meat and you're buying from the grocery store, the chances are most of it is not humanely harvested. And since I've learned about it's getting harder for me to trust what I'm getting from the store. And I do like to keep chicken in the freezer, you know, because you can make any kind of meal with chicken, right? So right now our chickens are for eggs and pets. I'm gonna throw it out. They're my pets, but they also give back because the cost of feed has gone up. Even if it hasn't gone up, you're still feeding something, and you want it to be able to kind of give back in a way. And I've had to learn that. So let's go into the quail. And I know y'all kind of heard me just very vaguely mention it, and I don't know if you can tell when I talk about it. I'm having a hard time. That they are going to be raised for meat bird and for the egg purposes. But I don't see that we're going to get into the business. This video is getting long. Let me pause it for a minute. And speaking of the quail, let's go let them out. I sat down because the roosters wanted to visit with me. It's going to be mainly for our family, you know, so we're mainly want them for the eggs. But there is, when you start out with the amount that we have, you have to have 5 female to one, let me put your little step, honey, to one male, because they start fighting, okay? And I'm in the bird club, our local, I'm not anymore, but when I had my pigeons and stuff, I'm looking for a snake. So I've been around bird people, because my mom, when my mom and dad had 3 girls, and when the last one flew the nest, I think that was my mother's way of coping with empty nest syndrome. They had one cockatiel, and she had to watch it suffer and die on Mother's Day. Its name was Tootsie, or Tootie, or Tootsie. And I have pictures of my dad, I think, holding it. I'll try to put in here. But my mother, we didn't even get together Mother's Day that year. She was so distraught. And what she learned was it got egg bound, I think, or it lost calcium, because she didn't know that when they laid eggs, you were supposed to leave the egg in there. There was something to it. So the baby died, and wasn't a baby, but they had it for several years, and she loved that little bird. She ended up at the feed store one day, about a week later, and y'all, we're talking, this has been 20 years ago, because I had the Candle Cottage 20 years, 1998 is when I opened, so it was around that time. She went to the feed store, the local feed store, and she ran into a lady, and she's standing at the counter, and she starts telling the lady about Tootsie, her bird that died on Mother's Day, and started bawling, crying. And the lady said, "Well, Brenda," she said, "I have a bird, and she was this lady, we didn't know at the time, we didn't know anything about bird clubs, nothing like that. She's in the, I'm ready to sell her, and she's white. She's a white cockatiel, and her name is Angel." And we were all like, "Oh, Mother, it's meant to be. Get her, you know." So Mom gets Angel, and then from there she joined the bird club, and then she started breeding exotic birds. She loves Quakers. She had lovebirds, finches, and all that. So I learned a lot from my mom during that time, and her and I both rescued, doves in the wild, and did the rescue release method and everything. And hang on one second. Where I'm trying to go with this, being around, you know, in the bird trading and all that, I have been to some very nice places, and I've been to some not very nice places, okay? So what's after yesterday of having my pity party, like literally spent 4 hours by myself. I like did not go out there. Y'all know how excited I was about that walk-in cooler. I didn't watch one part of it go up. I was so hurting. I was. And I'm like, goodness, you know, what's going on here? Why can't I shake this? And I ended up freezing tomatoes, freezing, what else did I freeze? Plums. I had planned on canning all day yesterday. I was so excited to do all of that. I just couldn't make myself do it. So I put it all in the freezer, except for the beets. I did do the beets, and it actually gave me a heartbeat again, because I enjoyed working with those beets yesterday. So I finally mustered up the strength to go outside and talk to Tony and Mike and my pouty self. And as the day went on, I realized I think I was being heard. And ever since closing the Candle Cottage, I've been, you know, I drew, and I'll try to throw that in here somewhere, a drawing of a lady in a dress with roses on it, and she's flying out of a bird cage, and it says, breaking free, birds of a feather flock together. And I couldn't figure out why that was always on my heart, breaking free. And I just felt like yesterday I was really fighting for someone to hear me about how happy these birds are being free ranged out of, and I don't care if it's a quail or a chicken. I mean, you see the size of my chicken run, so I guess Tony has been listening to me. I don't know. Also, he doesn't want them on the porch, and neither do I. So that's going to give them no reason to want to get out, because I've got plenty of room in here. But either way, I kind of felt like as the day ended and I went to bed last night with a happy heart, that I gave these birds a voice, that I feel understood that these birds deserve to be happy in the days that they have with us. Knowing that they're possibly going to be cold at some point. I'm just speaking. Again, I'm having a hard time with this because I'm a faux farmer, classy redneck, pet and zoo, right? But I'm trying to be realistic in the crazy world that we're in. You know, I started preparing in 2016, and I started with dry canning first, and been doing that ever since, because I believe God gave us a brain to use, and we wouldn't be here if Noah hadn't built the ark, right? So, and I may not be preparing for us. I may be preparing for family and others. So, either way, I've made myself watch videos on here, on YouTube, on raising quail for meat. I've forced myself to watch the harvesting of them. I think it's something important that right now is what I'm feeling to know and understand. And I was happy that I had her as a pet. I do have two whiteys, her sissies, left, and they are sweet too. I'm telling y'all, she stood out from the rest. She was very special. And these two have the black on their head, but they're cute. And God told me last night, you still have the other two, Banana. I'm like, you're right, I do. So I'm gonna just shower them with my love. And look how sweet. So I think the happy ending here is I've got Mike and Tony on board. We are going to, because hardware cloth wire is so expensive, to close this entire thing in wall to wall plus to the roof would be an expense right now. And we're not saying we're not going to do it, but we're going to start with this first. Tony is getting the beams. We're going to fence. We're going to wire this whole, under the, this roof, all that. Okay. So, like last night, we had to lock them up. We had to catch them with the net, which I feel distresses them. I don't like putting them through that. I want them to, I just feel like I have a bird language, and I don't know. I want them, or an animal language, to feel as free as they can feel. Even though we're catching them with the net, we're trying to keep them safe. They don't know that, though. And they were all panting and stressed when we caught all 34 and put them in this cage. And I don't want to keep that many in that cage. And that's what I was going to say. When I've seen some bad situations, y'all, I've seen eyeballs missing. I can't do it. Okay? I ain't doing it. And we're going to have 1 male to 5 female ratio. So that means if we end up with extra males, we're going to pick the mean males and they got to go. So Tony is ordering the wire today. He's getting a screen door. It's going to be similar to my other bird aviary, but this is a lot bigger. So I'm going to come in this door into this part under here, which gives them a lot of freedom. I will open this screen door during the day, and they can come out here and have even more freedom during the day. And we will lock them up at night. We'll kind of just kind of force walk them back into where their food and everything is going to be. Their food will be in there. And I'll sleep at night better. Cages do have a purpose. They do. You know, it's like, for example, when we end up getting an overabundance of males and we need to separate them because they're fighting, they're going to go in a cage. If we have an injury and I've got to doctor somebody, whether it be a chicken or a quail, they'll have a separate cage to heal. And then when we're growing out birds, if we start hatching, we're going to need the cages, okay, as babies. So they do have a purpose, but once they're feathered out and able to be free-ranged, that's my goal. Will a snake still get in here? Less of a chance. But because I'm going to have this door open during the day when I let them out, there is a chance that a snake can get in here, possibly hide, which happened at my other house in the other aviary. I had zebra finches. I had a beautiful canary named Banana. I actually tried twice, okay? I had a beautiful canary named Banana twice because a snake got both of them. Canaries attract snakes. I didn't know that, but that front part that you walked in and closed where my finches were, I noticed my canary was missing that day. Look at those 2 males fighting. And then I started counting my finches, and I was like, what is going on here? And I had a hay bale in there, and I moved it, and there was a snake as long as that. And I'm by myself, and I had to take care of that snake by myself. Its belly was full of finches and my canary, and I was mad as a hornet. Don't mess with my birds. I know snakes have a good place, and I've even watched some videos this weekend where people keep them in their barn, a rat snake, to keep the rats away. You know, so I do know they have a good place. When they start killing my birds, they don't have a place here. So I'm going to have to be careful of that, you know, but they're going to have a better chance, and they're still going to get to be free and not shoved in a cage at night after they've experienced being free all day long. So I hope this video makes sense. I'm just sharing my heart with y'all, and I'm sharing, you know, the happy news at the end. We're gonna do this, and I'm so excited. So maybe we can all learn from it, and hang in there with me, guys. I'm gonna end the video now. Cupcake's ready to go ride some more. Like I always say, have faith, shine your beautiful light, and share the blessings. Love y'all. Thanks for listening. One more thing, y'all. That video took 18 hours to upload yesterday, my last video, where she's in the video if y'all want to go watch it. My beautiful white bird that got sacrificed by a snake yesterday. But the sacrifice was not wasted, because God showed me in my heart that I have a voice for these birds to experience some freedom in their life here on earth with us humans. There's Frankie and Vinny. And, oh, that's Vinny right there. He's got white on his tail. That's Ray Ray. Okay, I promise I'm about to end this video. The gangsters. The boss. You know what they're smelling? Mustard green seeds. Oh my gosh. Don't worry, y'all. I'm not letting her near them. Oh my gosh, they're so brave. Y'all go. You can't come out. Dad, I know. I'm not going to touch them. Neither is Cupcake. I don't think Aspen will.